Good afternoon, it's Beer O'Clock and we're here at the Great British Beer Festival with number one fan. And give us your initial views, mate, after just walking through the door at Olympia.
It's epic. I can't quite believe I'm here. It's enormous. It's a beer heaven. I've got my beer hat, my beer tie, my beer cufflinks. I'm ready to go. Let's rock and roll.
It's Beer O'Clock.
It's Beer O'Clock, it's summertime, the fat man is walking around sunburnt and shirtless with a hanky on his head, and it's the Beer O'Clock show. My name is Mark, your friendly beer noob, and joining me with his hanky firmly knotted is my sun-kissed buddy and beer mentor, Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hi, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, mate. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. All the better for being back on here. Missed this.
I've missed you, man.
Yeah. I was a bit worried after the Unhuman Cannonball. I was wondering whether you'd actually ever surface again after necking that, especially listening back to the show where you were hammering that beer.
Yeah, but the next morning I was perfectly fine. You were suffering. I think Ant
just
was
a little bit,
suffering.
yeah.
Me,
Matt,
the complete lightweight. Perfect.
maybe that's the way forward. Is to
hammer it,
absolutely hammer the big percent beers. Yeah.
Yeah, do it so your liver doesn't know what hit it. And then it just goes.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Your liver goes, I'm not even going to bother trying to filter this. Just let it all through.
Yeah.
This is our little mid-year summer special, and what a special it is. With reviews from the Great British Beer Festival this past weekend, a load of tap-ins to unload, and a selected ale to review. This is going to take some getting through, so without any further ado, here's our first clip from the Great British Beer Festival.
It's Beer O'Clock at the Great British Beer Festival and I'm still here with number one fan, Ant. And what are your views?
I'm having a great day. Tried several beers so far. Been to the Harvey stand, Brain stand, a couple of others. Tried beers, third of a pint. Awesome beers, awesome banter. Good hats, great hats. Really good hats and beer. Awesome day.
And apart from the hats and beer, right now we're drinking the Art Brew Monkey IPA. What are your thoughts on this beer?
This is amazing. 6.4%, 1:45 in the afternoon. Just what you want for your lunch. Keeping us going, perking us up. It's hoppy, it's tasty, and it's lovely.
And it's all about the hops. Regular listeners of the show will know that we love the hops. This is a great beer. Art Brew Monkey IPA. Pick it up if you can. Be back later.
Right, Steve, I didn't make it to the festival on the weekend due to being an old tired man, but you did on the Friday. So
Indeed, I did.
Give us your briefest of feelings towards the day as a whole.
It was fantastic. Absolutely. It was probably my best one yet. This was my third year of going to the Great British Beer Festival. Obviously, I had number one fan at Cricket George, as he's now known. Name change over the summer.
Completely threw me when I saw this George pop up on Twitter and go, who the hell are you?
I was like, what's all this about? I can't. And I think a few people spotted it that we had a few of our tweets kind of scheduled to go out over the summer with his old name in it, and of course that was no point for that. So I was there on Friday with staff
George.
at Cricket George, as he is now. Yeah, we started off. We had a few pre-drinks in the Wetherspoons at Victoria, which I have to mention because they had the most amazing selection of real beers in there. It was just absolutely fantastic. This was Victoria Wetherspoons at Victoria Station. Yeah.
The one upstairs?
Yes, yeah, that one. They had Jaipur, Ghost Ship, and they had Pale Rider by Kellam Island, and
wow.
That's almost like a holy trinity of beers for me. I could have quite happily stayed in there all day. But anyway, we left there. We went over to Olympia. Had a really good day there. Did a bit of a poll with people to see if people that were wearing hats were having more fun, and the poll was unanimous that they were. So that kept us entertained for an hour or so. while drinking beers. I joined Camera. I'm now a card-carrying member of Camera. I think it was more the fact that you got for your money. It was £23, a one-off standing order, direct debit from your bank. But for that, you actually got 2 free half pints at the Great British Beer Festival, and 20 quid's worth of vouchers to spend in Wetherspoon. And I was like, I'm winning here, no matter what way you look at it.
You're like
I'm
quid up. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so that was good. Did quite a few beers, which if you want to check them all out, all the beers I did, they're all on Untapped. Didn't do all of my list. I had a list of about 27 beers, which was ambitious to say the least.
That may have killed you.
A good percentage of the beers had finished by the Friday anyway. There were none left. Which is always the risk I found this year of going towards the end of the week. So I think next year I'll be going earlier in the week to make sure I get the beers that I want. But no, it was a good day all round. It was a shame you couldn't make it at the weekend, mate.
Yeah, I wasn't well. But the weekend before, I went and visited our mate Andy and his good wife, and we kind of had our own little mini beer festival, but it was all American beers. So there's a shop in Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk, folks, called Beautiful Beers. They have a website, beautifulbeers.co.uk, and they have a load of Abbey beers. They have a load of German, but they have a really good selection of American beers, and much bigger than the last time I'd been in there. And they've got even more since. They've got a load of Stone Brewery beers in. But I bought, I think, about 12 different beers in there or something. I spent shitloads. Far too much money. So I took a load of the American ones up to Andy's place. He had some there already, so we went through. These are the ones I checked in and tried. So they're all little bottles, they're the 6-ounce bottles or whatever. And so we had half each. So it's basically a half pint of each one. So we had the Goose Island IPA, which you know, Steve. I think you've had that before, haven't you? Which is very nice.
Yeah.
Had Juniper Pale Ale by Rogue Ales. Anchor Steam Beer from Anchor Brewing Company, which I've had before. Brown Ale from Brooklyn. Honkers Ale from Goose Island. Liberty Ale from Anchor Brewing, which I've had before as well. A Pale Ale from Founders. A Doggy Style Classic Pale Ale from Flying Dog. And a Ruthless Rye IPA from Sierra Nevada. And an All Day IPA from Founders, which was really nice. You'd really like that. And an Anchor Bock Beer from Anchor Brewing, which was okay. Quite portery, that one. And before that, a few days before that weekend, I'd had from a Norfolk brewery called Humpty Dumpty a beer called Broadland Sunrise. And if you've never had it, Steve, you got to get it because you will absolutely love it.
I'll keep my eye out for that one. I think I've had one Humpty Dumpty beer in the past. Can't remember what the name of it was now.
I tapped that in and went onto my Twitter, and our mate Nate from what's his website?
Nate Dogg. Booze Beats Bites.
Booze Beats Bites. Yeah, he was like, yes! And I went, oh my god, I've impressed Nate. What have I done?
I was going to say, I bet he was all over that, being
over
a
that.
Norfolk brewery.
So we had a bit of chat and back and forth. He's going, that's an amazing beer. And I'm going, yeah, it's quite nice, Nate, yeah. So, yeah, that was a great beer. So you should check that out. Support the local British beers, obviously. And I've got a couple more Norfolk beers in a bag that I brought home with me. So that's my tapping adventures. What have you had other than at the British Beer Festival that you'd like to report about, mate?
Other than... Well, let me give you my top 3 beers from the Great British Beer Festival.
Yes.
In no particular order. Probably other than that which I drunk them in. First one is one called Umble Magna. by the Nethergate Growler Brewery, who are a brewery that becoming quite close to my heart actually, because they're just up the road from where I live. They're on the Essex-Suffolk border. That was a porter, but it was finished with coriander, but it was so smooth and so sweet. It was
kind of yellow label on it. Is that right?
No, that's a different version of the Humble.
Okay.
That's just the Humble Ale, not Humble Magna.
Right.
Humble Magna actually won one of the awards at the Great British Beer Festival last week. I think for one of the bottled beer awards, or the one of the awards in the porter category. It either won it or it was in the top 3. Again, shows how much attention I pay to things I should be paying more attention to. So that was the first one. The second one was one that a lot of people had recommended to me before I went. Is by Arts Brew, who are I think they're from down Dorset way, and it was Monkey IPA. Now I had a bit of a challenge finding it, and eventually found it after some furious tweeting while at the festival. Eventually found it. That was a lovely example of an IPA. You could just drink that all day long and probably really feel it, but it was a good IPA. And then the last one was a beer by St Austal that they've only just recently released. Now St Austal are famed for their Proper Job beer, which you can get in quite a lot of supermarkets in the bottle. They've just put a new one out called Big Job, which is a 7-point-something% beer. And I decided in my wisdom that it would be a good idea to have that as my last beer at the Great British Beer Festival. After I've had about 10 or 12 anyway, I then decided to hit this one called Big Job, and it pretty much finished me off. So those, and we've got a recording coming up of myself and Cricket Jeff. I can't get used to calling him that. I really can't get used to Cricket Jeff. I'm still going to refer to him as Stath on the show. Stath, and we did a joint recording with some guys from the MFBR website, which is another group of beer bloggers. You can find them at Beer Revs, and you can check out what we all thought of the Big Job on that review. That will be coming up later on in the show. So those are my drinks from the Great British Beer Festival. In addition to that, I've had to kind of split everything else into kind of sections, because there's been quite a lot in the time that we've been off. So we might want to do this through the course of the evening as we're drinking the beer as well. So my first section is what I've titled Summer Beers, and I've tried to keep these to, in each instance, I've tried to keep them to a top 4 or 5. So the first one was a lager, surprisingly. Fuller's have recently put out a craft lager called Frontier. I had that in the parcel yard at King's Cross Station. Really, really lovely, refreshing, tasty lager. Not like your mass-produced shit. This was a good example of lager. Not sure it really needed the craft label to help sell it, but a good lager nonetheless. Cool. And then had one while because I went away. I was camping in Norfolk. One by the Holcombe Brewery, which was a bowler hat best bitter. Now this was in a bottle, and it was from a calf on a beach, and it was absolutely stunning. It was bottle conditioned, but it was an English bitter with an American twist, because they had clearly used some American hops in there, and it just gave it that crisp, zesty, citrusy finish that you expect from the big American hops. I then did a beer that we've reviewed on this show before, Bath Owl's Gem, but we had a micro keg of it. A friend and I were camping
I saw the
from the
pictures
week.
that you put on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, it was lovely, mate. Honestly, it was absolutely stunning. We drained this micro keg in the course of about an evening because it was so tasty.
How many pints would a micro keg? 8?
You get about 8 in there, so that's not a lot. It's only 4 pints each, so it's only really a session. But that was good. Enjoyed that, and then the last one by one of my favourite breweries, Whitewood, which actually I learnt over the summer. It's not Whitewood, it's Witchwood. Big argument with my friend while we were away camping as to what it was called, and he pointed out that their logo is a witch on a broomstick, so therefore it's got to be Witchwood, not Whitewood. So Witchwood Brewery, as they are, a new one for them. This was on cask. This was called Rascal, and again a really nice, really nicely hopped, really refreshing drink. We were in a pub for about 2 hours, and I did about 4 of those. That's how good that beer was.
Wow.
So that's my summer beer selection. I've got more to share, but
Okay.
people are probably fed up with the sound of my voice already.
Let's take a little break from that and actually get on to our beer review for this week.
Yes,
Now,
let's.
this is going to be a big show because this looks like a big beer. It's a lovely, beautiful, gorgeous-looking bottle from our old friends at Innis and Gunn. Thanks very much to Innis and Gunn for sending this along to have a little taste of. It is an oak-aged beer, as most of their beers are, if not all of them. It is their Canadian Cherrywood finish, a rich Scotch ale matured over Canadian black cherrywood. Whew. It is, what's the percentage on this?
8.3%
Where does it say that?
on the back.
Does it? I can't see it.
Just
Oh, yeah,
under
we
the
go.
serve.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
Bloody
You
hell.
should be alright with this, mate. It's nowhere near the 12% unhuman cannonball that you scold on the last show.
So, is this out yet? This one?
I'm not sure it's out yet. I think it's I think they were saying it's out in September.
Okay.
And it's I think it's going to be exclusive to Sainsbury's. It's
Right.
another one of those. If anyone's ever bought one of the Innis and Gunn limited editions from Sainsbury's before, it's in a box. It's a
okay.
beer in a box.
Right.
So that don't look out for the bottles. Look out for the box.
Yeah. It's a very pretty
so-
box as well.
Yeah, it is.
has-
Really nicely packaged.
It's like a oil painting of a Canadian maple tree background type thing. It's beautiful. Golden red coloured. Lovely. Okay, shall we crack it open?
Yeah,
Pour it
let's
out.
get into this.
Get started on it because we have a lot of other stuff to get through. We may as well do it in tandem. So, away we go. Oh, the smell from
Wow.
that already.
Oh, that's a lovely sweet smell, as most of the Innis and Gunn beers are.
Yeah.
Nice and carbonated,
Mhm.
as you normally get from Innis and Gunn.
Lovely golden colour. Nice one finger. Slightly caramel white head.
Wow, that's really sweet. Just getting sickly sweet tones
Oh,
off of
it
that
is.
straight away. Oh,
That is very nice. Very fresh nose to it. It's not as
Yeah.
boozy as we're used to with Innis and Gunn. Well, that head didn't last long,
no, it's rapidly disappearing.
but it's still quite bubbly.
Lots of
Um,
carbonation.
Yeah. So shall we give it a sip? Have some initial
Yeah, let's.
thoughts. And then
Cheers. Good to be back for
And you,
one
mate.
episode.
Cheerio.
Really sweet straight away. You get a real sweetness from that.
That is not what I was expecting from an Innis and Gunn beer.
It's almost sticky sweet, isn't it?
Mm.
Instantly.
Yep.
Sticky sweet.
A very sweet woodiness to it. You can't really get that kind of whiskey booziness that you're used to from Innis and Gunn beers. But it does have the strength of an Innis and Gunn beer. Slightly sticky, isn't it?
It is slightly sticky. I have to admit I've had a slight revelation over the summer. And if people go back, our loyal listeners all the way back to season 1, I used to harp on about how much I loved Innis and Gunn beers.
Yep.
Well, I kind of had a few over the summer, and I'm kind of wondering what the appeal is now. And I think this is purely because my tastes have moved on. And I know my tastes have moved on, and I now like beers that have got big hops, and you've got that citrusy coming through, the big bold flavours. Mm-hmm. And you get your bold flavours with Innis and Gunn, but that's all you get is your flavours. And I did a bottle of their original, and I was quite literally like, nah, this is just doing nothing for me anymore.
I think I know what you mean. I mean, some of those big beers you can kind of imagine or taste the rolling summer fields of grain coming through. Whereas this is more like Innis and Gunn beer is more like you're drinking a beer in a room by yourself with the windows closed.
Yeah. While somebody's turned on a tap and they're slowly pouring treacle into the room, and it's filling gradually.
But saying that, I know what you mean. But this is different to like their original. It's different to the treacle porter that we had last year. Obviously, it has quite a fresh taste to it.
It is quite a nice beer. I mean, and I've tried a lot of the Innis and Gunn range, and this is quite reminiscent to one that they put out last year for Canada Day. So I'm wondering if they've basically, because this is Canadian Cherrywood finish, I'm just wondering if they've played around with a recipe for the Canada Day beer that they put out, because I had that.
Maybe.
That was very similar. If I remember rightly, this has been finished with the addition of maple syrup, as was the Canada Day release.
I was going to say it's quite syrupy.
Yeah, I remember having it with a bar of chocolate. I had it with a bar of Black's butterscotch chocolate, and the two worked perfectly together. I know we don't really do beer and food matching on here, but beer and chocolate sometimes works well. And beer and a burger, you can't go wrong with it. I don't care. Just give me a burger, give me a beer. One will complement the other eventually.
Yeah.
But no, this is all right. I'm getting a slight warmth from it now as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just hanging around in the back of my throat. It is very sweet though. It's like one of the things, I haven't done this for a while, compared it to something from my childhood. Tizer.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
It had fizz of Tizer. You don't know what Tizer is?
No.
Mark, really? Come on.
I'm not from this country. Come on, mate.
It's a fizzy... Okay. All right. It's a fizzy fruit drink that's red, and it's bright red.
Is it like a carbonated Ribena?
This drink is.
Thing?
No, I can't explain the taste of Tizer. But this had the colour of it, this had the fizz of it, it had the smell of Tizer. Tizer is put out by bars who make Iron Brew. Surely you've heard of Iron Brew.
I have heard of Iron Brew. Of course I have.
Right, okay, well Tizer is the other thing that they do. And they're Scottish, so there's the connection. Tizer.
Maybe it's someone at Innis and Gunn who were living their youth going, "Oh, I missed a good old drink of Tizer. What can I do as far as beer? I know, I'm going to make a beer that tastes like Tizer." You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
You've been working on that, haven't you?
I have. I know you miss my accent.
Love it.
Okay, while we let this sit and simmer a little bit, let's listen to that interview or the co-recording that you did with the blokes from Beer Revs at the Great British Beer Festival.
It's beer o'clock at the Great British Beer Festival, and we're here with Alex
and Alex
from MFBR,
and number one fan at Cricket Jeff.
Excellent. And clearly we've already had a few while we've been here, but we decided it would be good to get together to actually do a review of one single beer at the Great British Beer Festival, and we are reviewing the St Austal Big Job. That's what we're reviewing right now.
The big job.
We're all having a big job. So let's get into this beer, and we'll give our thoughts as we're going through it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Cheers. Oh, that's hoppy.
Oh, it's all about the hops. Hops, we love hops on the beer.
Taste that. That's good.
It's quite fruity.
Fruity.
Yeah, that's something.
It's kind of pineapple.
Pineapple?
Yeah, like citrusy.
Citrusy?
It's got a real twang. It's got a real twang at the top of the mouth, and it's twangy and it's hoppy.
It's got that real. The aroma is real big hops, big American hops in there, and then
big job.
it's a big job. And then you start getting into it, but it's a little bit. It's more subtle on the flavours, so it's not as big as that aroma suggests.
It's not as much of a kick as the smell.
It's subtly nice though, I like it.
I must admit, I'm enjoying this. This is one of the better beers I've had today. I mean,
This is a good beer.
This should be called the proper job.
Well, they've got a beer called Proper Job. So, which is
fair one.
a little less an ABV than this one. This is up in the
7.2. This is
7.2%. This
7.2.
7.2. Big job. Let's have a time check. 9 minutes past 3 on a Friday afternoon, and we're on.
I remember it's at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, it's a good job I've had a cheese sandwich. This will soak that cheese sandwich will soak this.
it's all about the jobs, isn't it?
and
Really,
the
right
pickle.
now. It's all about the jobs.
It's very sweet. There's
Someone just get me a job.
I'm not getting any better.
It's an easy beer.
It's easy. But
Really easy.
I can have that. You wouldn't think that was 7.2% by any
Oh
stretch.
no, not at all.
That
You
is
might do
absolute-
later.
Yeah, that's absolutely lovely. That is. Oh, that's lovely. I'm looking at it like it feels like a crystal ball. I feel like I'm going to look into it and see my future. I'm seeing.
What do you see?
I'm seeing the Great British Beer Festival. I'm seeing blogs. I'm just seeing the future and trains and not knowing where I am. But this is great. This is a lovely beer. The goblet of the future. 7.2%. Lovely.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why that man is #1 fan, because of those sorts of reviews right there. So, Alex, let's try and get a little bit, while we're reviewing this beer, about the blog that you do. So, we've exchanged tweets on Twitter about the various things that we do. What is it that you're doing, and how's that relate to the beer world?
We basically started this time last year at GBBF 2012. My cousin and I, we came down and we were looking for reviews before we came, and pretty much found a lot of websites with very long and very dry reviews. So our idea was kind of set it up and do something a little bit off the wall, a little bit irreverent. Cameron's membership is nearly 150,000 members, and only 6% of them are under 30. So we wanted to try and tackle that a little bit and get everyone a bit more interested in real ale at a younger age. Coupled with the craft beer revolution, we just thought it'd be something nice to do, and we enjoy drinking it, and we try and write about it.
Okay, and so you're predominantly blogs? Is that what you do?
At the moment, it's mainly writing. Yeah, we are looking at starting a kind of Vine or a YouTube channel, but that's going to be a little bit down the road. We want to get ourselves kind of settled first and comfortable with what we're doing and how we're doing it. But there's options, but at the moment it is just
okay. And how do people follow what you do? Give us your details so that people can know what it is you're doing.
Well, we're on mfbr.co.uk if you want to look at the site straight away. We are at Beer Revs on Twitter, at Beer Revs on Instagram. We're also MFBR on Facebook, and we have a Pinterest page as well, which you have to search MFBR and it should pop up. So we're a little bit social.
Okay. And hopefully we've got some plans in the pipeline to do a collaborative blog at some point in the future, which is in, as I say, in the pipeline at the moment. Hopefully we'll be announcing details out in the future.
Yeah.
But it's good to have got together today at probably the biggest British beer event this year.
So much bigger than last year as well.
It's huge. So let's get everybody's final thoughts on the big job, that we're feeling right now.
Pretty big.
Steph, let's Cricket Jeff, at Cricket Jeff, new name, number one fan still, new name. What are your thoughts on cricket? No, not on cricket, Jeff. on Big Job.
Big Job is an awesome beer. It's a big beer. There's a lot of flavour in there with a big aftertaste. Massive aftertaste. I'm feeling it all around my mouth, if I'm honest. I'm loving it. It's a great beer with a great flavour. I'm loving it. I'm loving the day. I'm loving the beer.
And Alex?
Yeah, no, I quite agree. It's kind of like, it's really refreshing. It's kind of like that sorbet in between like a meals, between a banquet sort of thing. It's
Good
just like,
shout.
lifts everything up, doesn't sort of like let down everything. Yeah, no, I like it.
Excellent. So 2 out of 2 so far. We're liking it. We're liking the Big
Not
Job.
just liking it, I'm loving it.
Alex?
I'm going to have to be a downer on this one. It's far too sweet for me.
Really?
I'm getting no aftertaste, no
It's really
bitterness.
sweet.
It smells of hops. It smells of hops, but
It's all hops.
hops.
It's all about the hops. Hops. We
All
love
about
hops.
the hops.
On the Beer O'Clock show, we're all about the hops.
It's kind of got a light taste to it.
I'm just getting that pineapple. All I can taste is pineapple.
Okay.
I would much prefer maybe something to creep up with a bit more kick in it, a bit more bitterness.
Do you feel it's a bit like an Italian who, if you put a pineapple on a pizza, Italians would hate it. Is it a bit like that? You put
It's a
pineapple-
Hawaiian pizza in a glass. There we go. It's not right.
Great summary.
It's a good beer. It's drinkable, and you can drink a lot of it. But I'm not personally. I need a bit more bitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like it. I think it's gone down well.
It's gone quick.
I like the hops. It's gone very quick. It's really easy to drink. There's big American hops in there, and I love the American hops, and that's what's coming through for me. And I just think Big Job, St Austell, yeah, good beer. If well, by the time this goes out, it's that whole time walk thing. You're not going to be able to sample it at the Great British Beer Festival because this will be out a week after the festival's finished. But if you ever see Big Job anywhere, I would suggest trying this beer. It's a good beer. It's a good beer to recommend. Big beer, big American flavours in a good English beer.
And all I need now is a good proper job.
Everyone needs a proper job right now. Thank you very much.
Cheers to BJ.
Cheers.
And we're back. Still going with this Innis and Gunn Cherrywood finish thing. Canadian Cherrywood finish. Innis and Gunn.
Do you want to? Shall I share some more beers?
Yes, please share another list.
Okay, another list. Okay, this list is entitled entitled Crema Homebrews. Now, those of you that follow us on Twitter probably seen us have exchanged from time to time with the guys at Crema Brewery. At Crema_brewery. It's two guys that we've got in touch with, Chris and Emma. I met up with them a few weeks back, and they gave me a great big bag full of their home brews, which I love it when I meet people and they give me a bag of beer. You know, what are you going to do?
Exactly.
I've been slowly working my way through their home brews, and I've got to say, wow, these guys know how to brew a beer. They seriously know how to brew a beer. I would pay good money to buy their stuff off the shelves. I have tasted from them, and I'm still trying to get my pronunciation of this one right. Saison, a Belgian IPA, a dark ale, a porter, and a black IPA. Not one of their beers is below 7%. So they're big beers, but they're all really tasty beers as well. And from that little list that I've just gone through, the two that I want to mention, well, 3 of the 5 that I want to mention, their Lunch Monkey Saison was absolutely stunning. It was really, really nice for a hot summer's day, nice little spicy after kick, really easy drinking beer. Their Red Snow Rye Dark Ale was an absolute perfect accompaniment to a barbecue I had over the summer. That just went down an absolute storm. Didn't share it with anyone. It went down an absolute storm with me. And then last night I drank their declassified NZ, which was a black IPA, which was again just you got the dark, ever so slightly roasted notes on it, but they'd used New Zealand hops in that one. And seriously, these guys' beer is fantastic. Now we're working with them to get them on to a show in season 3. We're planning a homebrew special that will have Chris and Emma from Crema. We're hoping to have Andy Parker on as well, who I've spoke about before. You can follow him at Tabamatu on Twitter. I've tried one of his homebrews before. He's also recently had one of his beers brewed by Weird Beard Brewing as well. So one of his beers has actually now been brewed commercially.
Oh wow!
So
he's the one that did that Imperial Stout that you did before Christmas.
That's the one that I have been trying to get him to rebrew and send me again. So we've got
just for you,
just for me. It's all about me. So we've got 2 fairly experienced homebrewers, and we're also hoping to have our mate Michael Doody, who's recently just started homebrewing as well. So we're planning this big homebrew special in October. Now, obviously, our listeners that like to drink along aren't going to be able to get a hold of the beers that we do for the homebrew special. It's going to be a challenge just to make sure that everybody that's going to be on that show has got all of the beers that we need, but that's all in hand. So keep an eye out for that one coming up, probably sort of October sort of time. I think I've mentioned to you, Mark, we might do that as a Halloween homebrew special, because we can't keep doing Whitewood Hobgoblin every year. We just can't do it. So that was my second list of beers from the summer. That was the homebrew list.
Very good.
Back to the beer.
Oh, back to the beer. It's getting... Oh, I'm not enjoying it now. It's getting to the end bit where it's getting even stickier and heavier. But, saying that, we have some beer to give away.
Yes.
If you want some beer...
Not this one.
Not this one, but... We've got... What do we have to give away, Stephen?
We have... the guys at Innis and Gunn, not only did they send us this, that they also sent us a few of their gift packs as well. And the Innis and Gunn gift packs are quite nice because you get one of their branded tulipy type glasses, and you get 3 bottles of their beer. You get the original, you get the rum finish, and you get the winter treacle porter. We've got one of those to give away, kindly supplied to us by Innis and Gunn. And probably a good point at this stage just to mention Fiona Dickey from Innis and Gunn, who made sure that we got our hands on these beers, and as promised that there'll be some more coming through to us as well as and when they release special and new editions, because thank you. We do appreciate your support, and bit of an in-joke, but yes, you are proving to be better than Adam was.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably cuter as well.
Yes, I imagine so.
Moving on to the competition. Now, usually we just say, tweet us, retweet this, but we're going to do something a little bit different for this competition. And that is, we still want you to tweet us to enter, but you need to tweet a special phrase so that we know you actually listened to the show and that you're not just some random looking for free shit on Twitter, which we do encounter more often than we would like to. So...
And we hate the randoms.
To make sure that this goes to a proper Beer O'Clock show connoisseur, to win the nice special gift pack from Innis and Gunn, including the beautiful glasses, they are lovely glasses, and the 3 bottles of booze, you need to tweet us the phrase Randolph Crescent. Doesn't matter how you spell it. We don't care about your literacy. Just tweet us the phrase Randolph Crescent, and that will get you into Steve's special prize hat, which we will draw in 2 weeks from the release of this show, and we'll be tweeting about it as well. We won't be tweeting what you have to retweet back to us, so you do have to listen to the show, which if you're hearing me talking now is precisely what you're doing. Well done. Well done. Enter via Twitter, tweet at Beer O'Clock Show, the phrase Randolph Crescent, and if you add in Mark You're Amazing on the end, you might get a little extra chance of winning. Probably not, but you never know.
I thought it was all about me.
It's never all about you, Stephen. People only listen for me.
Okay. Of course, because I don't do accents. That's what it's all about.
You do your funny Essex one.
Hang on, that's
sorry,
not
that's
an
your
accent.
voice.
I'm not putting that on. That's natural.
Oh, okay, well, I'm struggling to get to the end of this drink. Let's have another clip about the most important topic at a beer festival. This is Steve and Staff.
Well, that's a good Beer O'Clock Show live at the Great British Beer Festival, and we're talking beer hats.
Yeah, hats, lots of fezzes. The general consensus is more people are having a better time wearing hats. I haven't asked at least 15 people.
That's number one fan's view, and here's James, who's out with us today for a beer. James, what's your view on beer hats?
My view is definitely you can't come to a beer festival without a hat, hence why I'm stood here with a road cone on my head. But brilliant.
Fantastic. It's all about the beer hat.
And like I said, the most important topic at a beer festival is, of course, your beer hat. Right, Steve, this beer, as with most Innis and Gunn beers, it's the end I struggle with. How are you going with yours?
Okay, actually. As it's warming, I've got to say I'm enjoying it more as the carbonation's dying down. I think the combination of it being really carbonated at the beginning and that those sickly sweet flavours coming through initially was a little bit no, but now that the carbonation's eased off, it's warming, it's getting to that last little bit. It's actually quite it's a good beer for supping. It's taking your time over.
Yeah, it's
not necking.
Oopsies. It's a little bit of a winter warmer, I think. Towards the end, I'm finding it very dense and very sticky and very dark, fruity, sweet type thing. Bitter fruits.
Certainly not a beer for a summer special.
No.
That's for sure.
Although the box is very pretty.
Yes.
But, yeah. I much preferred it at the beginning, whereas you seem to be preferring it now that you're getting towards the end of the glass.
Yeah, I am enjoying it now, actually. Just like a connoisseur.
So, have you got another list of beers for us, mate?
I have got another list of beers, and this one's simply called Urban Sessions, which if anybody that follows us on Twitter would have seen, we put a blog up over the summer all about my visit to Urban Sessions, which was an amazing night out, I've got to say. If you want the full lowdown about it all, I'm not going to go on to it here. Go onto our website and read the blog. Because it's all in there, but it's a pop-up bar. It's only there until the 31st of October. You exchange money for tokens, and then you exchange tokens for beer. You can buy beer in a third or in 2/3. They don't do pints. The reason why they don't do pints is because every beer in there is a ridiculously high percentage. I was surprised that I felt quite as bad as I felt on the Tuesday morning when I got up after being there. Having then reviewed the list of beers that I drank the night before, I can understand why I felt as bad as I felt. It was ridiculous, the amount of beer, but it's really good. Just wanted to highlight 4 of the beers that I had while I was there. First one was another Saison. This was a Nelson Saison by Weird Beard and Elusive Brew. Mentioned earlier, Elusive Brew is actually Andy Parker. That's the guy that originally brewed this beer in his garage, and then Weird Beard picked it up and have brewed it commercially. So Andy, well done for that one, mate. It was a really lovely beer, really enjoyable. Second one to mention was Siberian Rhubarb Saison. This was by the Ilkley Brewery, and it was a collaboration with Melissa Cole. Now, for those of you who don't know who Melissa Cole is, Google her. She's a legend in beer circles, but she's also kind of behind Urban Sessions. She's behind the concept of what it's all about. This beer was like drinking rhubarb and custard sweets.
Oh, this
surely
is
you know what they are.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That was absolutely stunning. Really enjoyed that one. And then I did a Yukima Red by Greenwich Mean Time, which I've seen quite a few times. It's one of these that's kind of made it into mainstream bars, but a really enjoyable pint. Probably the lowest pint ABV wise of the evening. It was about 4.8%. And then by the time I got to the end of the evening, I'd had about 7 2/3 of beers.
Oh, yeah.
And I decided at that point it'd be a really good idea to do a cannonball, because I had Magic Rock's Cannonball on, and just the normal version of Cannonball is 7%. So what is it with me and finishing off sessions with 7% beers at the moment? I don't know, but yeah. So that was Urban Sessions. Seriously, if you're in London and you want something to do, it's not open on a Tuesday night. Monday night is trade night. But Wednesday through Sunday, get yourself down to Urban Sessions, and one tip: if you are going, buy your tokens online before you go, because you get more for your money by buying them online than you do for buying them there.
Good tip.
Great tip. We all love saving money on the Beer O'Clock Show.
We do. Yes.
I've got more. I can keep going.
Yeah. Give us another list before we wrap up.
Well, actually, I've not got another list. I've just got a couple of things. I just mentioned in there again, Magic Croc, and they do seem to be becoming a firm favourite of mine. Last week they released another one of their limited edition beers. This one's called Strongman. It's again in a 660ml bottle, which since we did the Unhuman Cannonball episode, I've since found out those bottles are called Bombers. Don't know why. I'll find out why for season 3 and share that, and everyone will be able to sleep soundly in their beds at night. But Strongman is a golden barley wine. It hails from the same brew as the Unhuman Cannonball. They've used Golden Promise malts, hopped with Centennial, Citra and CTZ. However, instead of assaulting the beer with dry hops like they did with Unhuman Cannonball, they've aged this in Amontillado sherry casks until it's ready to take the stage. So again, this is a 12% beer from Magic Rock. There's one on its way to me in the post because I couldn't resist ordering it, and that will get quaffed at Christmas. I've added that to my list of Christmas beers. So that hasn't sold out quite as quickly as the Unhuman Cannonball did. So if you want a bottle of Strongman, they're still available on the Magic Rock website. They're about £11 a bottle plus £7 postage. And then just one other mention of Magic Rock. We were talking about Salty Kisses as well on the Unhuman Cannonball episode. They've released a new version of that, a lime version of it, which I'm frantically trying to find somewhere in London that sells it so I can try that and review back in season 3. But in October, again, just to do a little bit of season 3 promo, Doody and I are off to visit. Doody. We're going to Magic Rock. Doody and I are going on a little road trip. We're going to the Buxton Brewery. And then we're going to Magic Rock. We're sharing a twin bedroom in a dodgy B&B in Buxton itself. It's going to be legendary.
Living the dream, mate.
It's going to be this Scotsman and this guy with a dodgy Essex accent in the middle of the country, sharing a twin room, drinking all their beer. So look out for those reviews.
You're not going to know what hit them.
Season 3. No, they're not. They're not. That's the last of my little lists for now. Doesn't even go near summing up what I've drunk over the summer. Like I say, if you want to check it all out, go on to Untapped. If you don't already follow me, I think I'm on there as Beer O'Clock Show Steve. You can go, if you're that interested in what I've been drinking over the summer, go and have a look.
Oh, and let's also wrap up our Great British Beer Festival clips that you recorded on the weekend. This one, poor Stath. He's not in the best shape in this one. This is obviously towards the end. Let's have a listen.
Beer O'Clock Show live at the Great British Beer Festival. Still here with number 1 fan, Stath. Update.
We're having a great time. I've had a load of beers. Too many beers. There's loads of people outside. Not enough people with hats on. We need to get more hats on. Loads of beers and hats. We're having a great time.
And right now we're drinking the Yukima IPA by Great Tech. What do you think of this, mate?
Yeah, great beer. Very strong, 7.2%. Probably not the best thing to be drinking at this moment in time. However, it's a great beer. It's light, it's hoppy, but it's full of body.
Brilliant. And is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
Hurrah!
Hurrah! And there you have it. Beer O'Clock Show live at the Great British Beer Festival.
Oh, Steph, buddy. I hope you're doing okay. Oh, we're getting towards the end of the show now, mate. I'm getting towards the end of the beer. Let's have a... I'm not going to finish this. I've got a mouthful left, but I can't stomach it. Sorry, let's give this a rating. I'm personally, first 50% I'm going to give a 3.5. Oh dear. Second 50% I'm going to give 1.5. So it's going to balance out about 2.5, 3 for me.
Yeah.
I
think I'd have to go 3
I should have just scolded
on it. Yeah.
I should have necked it while I enjoyed it. But, I mean, it's warmed up. It's all... I mean, if you like Innis and Gunn beers, I think it's going to be another one that you will enjoy, because it does have a nice, interesting taste to it. That Cherrywood really comes through. It's fruity, it's sweet, it's sticky, it's mapley. Not for me.
I'd agree with that, actually, mate. I think if you like the Innis and Gunn beers, you will love this, because this is a fine version of what they do. I would say let it warm a little while you're drinking it, though.
I would say make it cold and bubbly and neck it. It's only 8.5%, you'll be fine.
Excellent. Yeah. if your way of attacking beers is anything to go by, mate.
It's the only way. It's the only way to survive.
Yes.
Right. That's the end of this show, but we do have a new announcement. Season 3 is starting in September. It's going to be an amazing season. Whereas in Season 2 we didn't have as big a focus on the European beers as we were hoping for, but we did have a few in. You know, we had the Leffies and we had a couple of others. Season 3, it's all about America. Except for a few beers. We've got a lot of American beers lined up. We mentioned them on the last show, I think. But we've got some of them, yeah. Some of them, but we've got some great beers coming up. And what is special, even more so about Season 3, is we've done a deal, or we've gone to like a mini partnership type thing with Ales by Mail, who are a great bunch of guys. And they've done us a Season 3 box. And this box has our logo on the side and everything. Has the beers, the American beers from Season 3, which are 6 of them, I think.
Yes.
In the box.
Six beers that we'll be drinking.
It's a 24 box case. So if you only want the 6, just buy the 6 and they ship you at their flat rate. If you want to fill it with another 18 beers, do that. The shipping is exactly the same, so you can get 24 beers with the same shipping price. Fill your box up, but it's got those 6 beers, which I don't have the list with me right now, but they're amazing. And the list is going to be on the website. Steve, rattle off the beers, mate.
They are the 6 beers that you can get in the Beer O'Clock Show Season 3 box are Odell 5 Barrel Pale Ale, Bear Republic Red Rocket Ale, Sierra Nevada Bigfoot 2013 version, Kona Fire Rock, Flying Dog Snake Dog IPA, and Rogue Mocha Porter.
Yeah, amazing. So those beers in the Beer O'Clock Show Season 3 box from Ales by Mail. There will be a link on the website. You'll be able to see a picture of the box itself. You'll be able to see our beer list for Season 3. And we have a discount for you for that box, which is 20% off. But you have to use the discount code BOCS3 when you're checking out, when you're going through your payment at alesbymail.co.uk. It's Steve?
Yep, that's it.
So
yeah, we've got a specific link to our page on their website because it's not one that Joe Public could happen across.
Exactly.
You have to actually search for that page to get access to the Beer O'Clock Show box.
Exactly. So go to beeroclockshow.co.uk/season 3. You'll see a list of the beers that we're reviewing in season 3, all of which there'll be the 6 American ones plus the other beers that we're reviewing, so you can go and pick those ones up where you can. A link directly to Ales by Mail's page stocking this box, and use that BOCS3 discount code to get 20% off your box. And
the 20% off is only off of those 6 American beers, not off of the entire box. So
the box is
it's worth filling your box because, as you say, the shipping's the same regardless of whether you've got 6, 12, 18 or 24 in there. But the 20% will come off of those 6 bottles only, not off of the entire order.
Right. So just get the 6 if you want to, or get another 18. Get yourself a pile of beer. And join us for season 3 and drink along with the show. So you'll know which episode is coming out with which beer. We're not going to keep it as much of a secret as we normally do. Like, what beer are we doing this week? We'll be telling you so you can plan ahead. Have that bottle.
Because we've planned it.
Have that bottle in the fridge,
for once,
ready to go for when you download the show on Friday nights. Crack open your beer and listen to us drink the beer that you're drinking. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. So
it's great for us to be working with Ales by Mail because most of the beers that we try and do, we try and do it so that you can source your beers from your local supermarket. Yeah. But occasionally, we have to go to speciality suppliers as well to get our beers. And hopefully, if all goes well during season 3, this is something that we'll be hoping to do with Ales by Mail for each season that we do. So when we're doing speciality beers, we'll be able to say, go to Ales by Mail to get your Beer O'Clock Show box from Ales by Mail. So it's just gives you an opportunity to drink along with us and to actually then get involved and tweet us or comment on the website about whether you feel our review was right, whether we got it spot on, or whether you think we were off a little bit.
Yeah, and as with everything that Steve and I do, this is independent. There's no commercial agreement here. It's just we wanted to find a way of getting you guys the ability to get these beers. Ales by Mail very kindly offered to help out with that, and they've given us a discount code so you guys can save yourself £3 or so off those 6 beers, which is very good. It's basically a free beer out of the 6.
Yeah.
Right, I think that pretty much wraps up our summer special.
I think it does. I think we're there. Just I suppose, just one reminder that while we continue to be off air after this show over the summer, the Still Thinking blogs will still be coming out. Doody. He's Still Thinking blogs will be coming out. They're being quite well received. People seem to be liking the stuff that he's doing. It's the interviews with the brewers that they seem to be going down really well. Really disappointed that neither Weatherspoon or Harvestoon wanted to comment on the whole Weatherspoon episode 1, which was interesting. But no, so keep an eye out for the blogs because they'll be up there, and we may still be throwing the occasional blog up there as well.
Yeah, and we also have our live event coming up in September. I think there are still spots left.
There are still places on the live event. If you want one of those, just get in touch. Can't be bothered giving out the booking thing anymore. Just if you want to come, tweet us, let us know, give us your cash, and we'll see you there on Saturday, the Saturday the 14th.
There will be people other than me and Steve there. Don't worry.
Yes, we already have their money.
Right, so the website is beeroclockshow.co.uk. Follow us on Twitter at beeroclockshow. My name is Mark. That's Stephen.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.